Hey everybody, I am working on Sigismund here. I think that's how you would say his name. Still a work in progress. Not really want to talk about him specifically though. I was getting ready to work on his bass and I wanted to rust up, well, mostly the tracks, but there's a lot of elements on here that could use some rust. And I'm going to use this Dirty Down Rust, which I picked up a while ago and used on a couple of little projects, and it is frankly just amazing and one of those sort of, magic in a bottle kind of things that you can get that make you look like a much more impressive painter than you are. And all this is black primed with some dark brown on there. And I'm just going to do one of these tracks real quick, one of these links, so you can get a sense of what this stuff can do. So I'm just going to slap it on here. I think I'm going to go a little heavier on the edges. And then I'm going to let that sit, and I'm going to close this up because it seems to be a very volatile liquid. And it smells very toxic because I assure you it is. It also says danger extremely flammable. So there's that. But I'm going to let this sit for a little bit. I'll let you know how long it takes, and then we'll come back and we're going to have a look at it. All right, it's been about 5 minutes. This is not the best illustration of what it can do. The biggest problem here is that this is all so dark. But you can see this is the track here. You should be able to see as I move this around that it has added some texture to it. You can barely see the color. But if you were to take that and slobber about 2 to 3 times as much on there, which is what I did here, then you can see that the effect is a bit more startling and more interesting. Now it's very difficult to just control, right? There's no easy sort of turn this up, turn this down knob aside from adding more material. You can also maybe add a little bit of water to it. If you put it on different colors, you also get different effects. This is a very light coating of it over this mottled yellow paint. And you can see you get that feeling of kind of a rust coming through. So if you were to put this on a lighter brown, for example, you're going to get a brighter overall effect. But I just love this aged, like aged iron look to this that is just outstanding. So what I'm going to do real quick is just slap it on more of this. In fact, you can watch me do it. One thing to keep in mind about this stuff is you really gotta agitate it thoroughly before you put it on. It really wants to be well mixed. So yeah, I'll show you how thickly I put it on. Those other pieces, and then we can come back. Actually, I'm gonna dip into the main reservoir there. See how thick that is? Kind of like putting on shade or contrast. All right. I'm going to leave these bottom areas for now so you can kind of see the overall difference. So we can go from nothing to minimal to thoroughly coated and see what the difference is. So I'll be back in about 5 minutes. All right, so on this piece, you can still see it. I mean, it's there. It's interesting in that I've been doing sort of two tracks here, and this is the sort of demonstrator piece, and then the piece that I've actually been working on. And so it's been a while since I've worked with this stuff. It's been at least 2 months, and so I'd kind of forgotten some elements of it. And one is that you can just keep going. If you feel like, oh, there's not enough there, you can just add more. So, for example, in this, I kind of like how this worked out, but I think I'd like to take it further. So you can see this is the piece where I started, and then these are the ones that I did after, and there's the underside, which I don't think I showed you when I was doing it. You can see a lot more of the effect there. But on this other piece that I've been doing, I'm much happier with it. And I think the difference is, well, a couple of things. One is that I shook this up even more. I think it's very important that you keep this agitated at all times when you're working with it, if you want to have a very pronounced effect. The other thing is you can always use more. So, for example, this track here didn't have much to begin with. That's just water. And so I didn't mind that so much, but I did want to put some where the links are here. And so I just dropped some into those locations, and that brought that out, and it looks really good. But again, this is not a completely controllable process. So keep it agitated and apply as needed. I wanted these little areas to have more rust to them. And you will get it to where you want it to be. Maybe this is it. Me, I want more. So I'm going to drop some in here, again at the links. I'm going to do something else I've been messing with on and off with this and see how it works, and that's worth using the heat gun. It doesn't seem to affect the process aside from speeding it up, so, which is good. That's really what I want to get from that. And the stuff just looks amazing. And again, you can use it on different colors. You don't have to use it on a dark color. And in fact, you know, you may get a better result. I don't recommend putting this directly onto metallics. If you want to include some metal showing through, I recommend adding that after if you want a more realistic effect. And let me show you. That is pretty cool too. So for example, I'm gonna just brighten these edges a little bit. I don't know if you can see that. I can see it very well. I think I need better lights. Do that over here as well. And I think you really, really get a much more realistic effect. I've seen a lot of people trying to use this stuff over metallic, like, you know, painting this whole thing silver and then laying the rust on top of it. I don't think that gives a very realistic effect. It looks okay, but it doesn't look realistic. keep in mind, what you want your final results to be. I wanted this to be super aged and rusty. And if you look at super aged and rusty things in real life, it's mostly a dark brown, depending on, what it is, obviously. But I think that looks really good. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. I hope you find that useful. I'm going to include a link to this stuff on Amazon. It's not available. It's not widely available. I found it on Amazon. There are probably a few other hobby stores you can find it at. But I think it is a very niche-y product that hasn't found deep penetration into our hobby yet. So look around. Dirty Down Rust. I think they have like 3 different products. They have the Rust, they have a Verdigris, and they have a Moss. This is the only one I've gotten. It's a little bit pricey, I'll be honest. On the other hand, it's really good, so perhaps it's worth it for you. And that's going to do it for now, and I will talk to you all later. Bye.